The phone rang when I heard the news that my father was homeless and he was struggling with Parkinson's. My first reaction, my first thought was, good. Finally getting what he deserves. Question hit me harder than the news itself. Who was I becoming? You ever play the game growing up when you're a little kid on the playground? My daddy's better than your daddy. My daddy's smarter than your daddy. My dad stronger than your dad. I didn't get to play that game. My dad left, and it was me, my mom, and my sister. Now, as a single mom, she did the best she could, carrying the financial weight of raising me and my sister. She worked as a maid, cleaning houses as her only source of income. But no matter how much money we had or didn't have, my mom made sure I could play soccer. I remember running around the little field, kicking the ball. I remember during soccer games, looking to the sidelines and seeing dads cheer on their boys. I learned to play without looking for mine. Hut! Dads are also supposed to teach boys how to throw a football. Didn't happen. Dads are supposed to teach their young boys how to understand girls. I'm still working on that one. Just ask my wife. Love you, honey. My dad did teach me something, though. He taught me birthdays do not always come with recognition. I felt unwanted. I'm the one that felt unworthy. But at age 18, I found somebody that wanted me. I found somebody that thought I was worthy. The military, teaching me things my father never did. And finally, being surrounded by men. I came back from basic a little bit later and I told my mom, Mom, they got a special boot camp for you old people. She was 40. I was 20. My, how perspective changes. I then explained to my mom, hey, Mom, you're not cleaning houses anymore. You're cleaning wounds. The Army needs nurses. And just like that, my mom joined the military. She joined my unit, the 912th MASH, Mobile Army Surgical Hospital. Then something unexpected happened. Saddam Hussein, Operation Desert Storm. Before I was deployed with my mother, yes, I was deployed with my mother, something else unexpected happened. I found out my father is also in the military. Opposite ends of the country. Both units activated. We both descend on Fort Bragg. Of all places to reconnect. Now here we are having a family reunion. Mom, dad, sister, grandparents saying our final goodbyes. My dad has a small, fragile chance at reconciliation. He shatters the moment. What happens when you drink too much? Sometimes you do stupid things. In that moment, while intoxicated, he molested his daughter. My little sister. I was done. I had my M16, no ammunition, good thing. Called the MPs, the military police, and the very next day, I'm on a plane to go fight a war in the Middle East while a war detonated inside my family. The fallout was immediate. Bitterness became my armor. It protected me from more hurt. It gave me power. It gave me control. It defined me. But the longer I wore it, the heavier it became. Now you would think after a few years I would be fine. But the memories, my birthday, Father's Day, holidays. Every time I felt bitterness, it was like laying a brick. Revenge, another brick. Anger, another brick. Brick by brick, I built a fortress. Only to realize I just built a prison. I thought I was keeping the pain out, but I was locking the pain in. Decades later, when I heard the news that my father was living in a homeless shelter, he was suffering, Parkinson's had savagely taken over his body, I didn't care. I felt nothing. He needed compassion. He wanted compassion. I wanted a day of reckoning. Compassion? Not from me. Everything in my body wanted revenge. Revenge would be easy. Compassion would be hard. Revenge felt like justice. Compassion felt like surrender. I had to ask myself a question. Who are you becoming? Are you going to die a bitter old man? Should I show my dad some compassion? I don't know. What is compassion? It's when you see someone else suffering and you're compelled or motivated to remove that suffering. But then the question is, how do you determine who gets compassion? Well, being as smart as I am, I came up with a formula. I thought compassion worked like math. Here it is. If you see someone suffering and they're worthy, you show them compassion. If you see someone suffering and they're not worthy, no compassion. Simple math. I love this formula. It made judging others very efficient. until I realized my formula is flawed. And here's the reason why. Compassion with conditions is not compassion. Let me repeat that for you. Compassion with conditions is not compassion. It's a transaction. I also realize this. Dave, you're focused on the wrong person. And you've missed the point of compassion completely. And here's why. Compassion is not about who deserves it, but who you choose to become. Let that soak in. Compassion is not about who deserves it, but who you choose to become. I heard this. Showing compassion can help you get to the point of forgiveness. However, I'm stuck on a question. How can somebody do something like that? Maybe you've heard the phrase, hurt people hurt people. Everyone you meet has a story. We may not have the luxury of knowing that story, but everybody has one. So when you meet someone and maybe they're hurting somebody or making very, very bad decisions, maybe we shouldn't ask, hey, what's wrong with them? But what happened to them? Take my father. His mother, my grandmother, she had a dream to fall in love, get married, have children. On April 2nd, 1942, the cries of a newborn. My father, Sylvan, was born. At the tender age of 2, her dream was stolen by the Holocaust. Forced on a train, headed straight to Auschwitz, the concentration camp. Given tattoo number 5132. I can just imagine the Nazi guard locking eyes with her, seeing the pain, the suffering, the terror in her eyes, turning away, showing no compassion. As she walked underneath the sign, Arbeit macht frei, translated, work will set you free. Never to see her husband again. Trauma didn't start with my father. It was inherited. Suddenly, I'm handed the same choice. When I heard of my father's suffering, would I look away the way someone once looked away from my grandmother? Looking for wisdom and trying to figure out, who do I want to become? I read this. Therefore, clothe yourself with compassion. There's that word, compassion. Kindness. humility, gentleness, patience, forgiveness. Now that's the kind of man I want my grandkids to see. With that in mind, I got in the car. The drive to Virginia felt longer than the war. What am I going to say? What is he going to say? Should I just turn around? Look, I'm here to tell you, getting to the point that I can remotely think about showing compassion was not easy. It felt like work. It was work. I hesitated before I knocked, and I realized this is my opportunity to remove bitterness, to let go of revenge. To choose compassion and forgiveness over anger. This was my moment. The door opened. He was smaller than I remembered. He shuffled his feet as he came towards me. I looked at the man I had hated for decades. I heard myself say something I never imagined I would say. Come on, Dad. We're going home. Loaded up his few boxes. The baggage, left it behind. We fed him. We washed his clothes. Hot, hot! Set up a TV so he can watch his favorite football team. I thought I was doing this for him. But the freedom was mine. Compassion did not rewrite what he did, but it rewrote who I would become. Compassion is just as much for the person giving it as it is for the person receiving it. Compassion didn't fix the past, but it can change the future. Compassion is one of the most powerful tools you can own. Each of you has a story. And when your moment comes, and it will, it might be today. The question is not about them. It's about you. Who will you become? Arbeit macht frei. Work will set you free. I learned something different. Compassion is the work. It will set you free.